Baylor goes to SMU. Gerald J. Ford Stadium should be rocking. This is an in-state game. Let's see it. Okay, let's get into it. Baylor's offense is really good. They're going to move the ball. SMU's going to have to find a way to make some stops, and also vice versa. I think Baylor has a little bit better of a defense, but SMU's athletes are just so dynamic. Obviously, on offense for Baylor, you got Sawyer Robinson, Michael Trigg, Cole Wilson. Washington, their back was hurt. Was hurt throughout the game against Auburn. I expect him to be ready to go. The O-line and pass protection, it was really good against Auburn. Keldrick Falk, you thought was going to eat for Auburn, and he didn't. Excuse me. So, can SMU get back there? Can Cameron Robertson get back there? Only time will tell. Baylor has a really good secondary. I think they played well against Auburn. There's just not much they could do. I mean, they weren't called on to do anything, really, because they got the ball just driven up their butt every drive. And that's what I lead to here. Can the front be better? Can the D-line not get blown 3 yards off the ball every play? Is SMU's O-line going to reset the line of scrimmage? Well, they have their own question marks, so let's go ahead and transition to SMU. That O-line is unpredictable and inconsistent. What's it going to be this year? Can they do what Auburn did to Baylor? Only time will tell. Kevin Jennings take care of the football, and they can win this game. That's all there is to it. He's got great weapons. I mean, Romello Brinson, Jalen Cooper, those are really good receivers. Ymir Knight, transferred from JMU, didn't really do much in the game last week against East Texas A&M, but I expect him to play well. But what's this running game going to be? Chris Johnson, TJ Harden, can they help Kevin Jennings? Because Kevin Jennings can take off, but as we can tell throughout this season and last season, you need a real running game. Moving on to the defense side of the ball, this secondary is really good. Isaiah Nkwobia, I mentioned him in my first episode, how good of a safety he is. He anchors that defensive backfield. Can the D-line live up to its potential? I mentioned Cameron Robertson already before, but you're going to need guys like Terry Webb. Terry Webb balled out against East Texas A&M. You're going to have to see him play better. He's a Texas State transfer, but you're going to have to see him play good against good opponents, against good competitive teams. Okay, let's get into the weeds. Let me stop. Let's actually look into some of these matchups within the game, some of these storylines. Like I mentioned before, Baylor's questionable D-line versus SMU's questionable O-line. That's probably going to be what wins the game right there. Can Baylor's linebackers contain Kevin Jennings? Kind of like I was talking about with Michigan's linebackers and John Mateer. Can they spy him? Can they keep him from the huge on third and 7? Is there just a wide open gap for Kevin Jennings to go for 34 yards? Can't have that. Can Kevin Jennings protect the football, though? He threw a pick against East Texas A&M, so only time will tell there. Who wins who wins Baylor's O-line or SMU's D-line? Kind of a flip-flop here, because these are two strong points for each team. That's also going to dictate the game. And can Sawyer Robertson pick SMU apart? Does he have time back there? Baylor's offensive line is good. Right back there to that battle right there is what it comes down to. Because if Sawyer Robertson can sit back there in the pocket and pick SMU apart, Baylor will win this football game. Okay, let's get into the weeds. SMU is a 2.5-point favorite at home. Their money line is minus 140 and Baylor's is plus 116. And the over-under is huge in this game, 64.5. My impact players for Baylor are Sawyer Robinson, obviously, Cole Wilson, and Michael Trigg. Michael Trigg, man, I tried to tell y'all what was coming with him. Dude's a stud. For SMU, Kevin Jennings, Romello Brinson, and Jalen Cooper. Okay, defensively, Baylor. Jackie Marshall coming off the edge. Keaton Thomas at backer and Devin Bobby at strong safety. I expect to see Devin Bobby in the box a lot because They're going to have to stop the run. SMU, Isaiah Nakwobia, I've talked about him tirelessly. Dude's just a stud. Cameron Robertson, I mentioned him, stud. Terry Webb, mentioned him, also stud. But it's time to make my pick. I've gone back and forth on this game up until right before I walked downstairs from show prep to now. But I am going to go with Baylor. In a super close game, if you would have asked me 15 minutes ago who I was taking, I would have told you SMU. But I'm rolling with Baylor. I picked Baylor to beat Auburn. Everything that I believed in, I still believe in. I just got to see that D-line. I don't think SMU's offensive line is good enough to do to Baylor what Auburn did. I just don't think they're consistent enough, and I don't think they play together well enough. And I trust Sawyer Robertson to make the passes that are the difficult passes in the fourth quarter. That's what this is going to come down to, and Sawyer Robertson can do it. Kevin Jennings can do it with his legs, but Sawyer Robertson can do it with his arm, and I think he does. I believe Baylor can match up better up front with SMU than they did Auburn. And that's the key to this football game. But give me Baylor to go in to Gerald J. Ford Stadium and beat the reigning runner-ups of the SEC, SMU.